I'm Rick Kimberley again with Kimberley Farms. We're in a soybean field here. These beans were planted the last few days of April, so they're starting to get pretty good size to them. We didn't put any herbicide down early. We just field cultivated the land because we disc ripped last fall because this came off of a cornfield. And so we tilled up the soil last fall to kind of break up and tear up the soil, and also do some deep tillage to break up any compaction. And so this spring we went in and field cultivated it, leveled off the field. Still it's called minimum tillage, but we didn't put any pre down. We were kind of busy doing other things. We were trying to plant corn and spray corn, and so we didn't get any pre chemicals down to control weeds before we planted. Last week we got in here and there were starting to be some weeds, get some height on them, and so we sprayed them last week. It's doing a good job. Those weeds are wilting over and be gone here soon. We like to spray a little later as those beans get a little taller, so the beans will be close to canopying, and that will help control any weeds later in the summer. Now we'll get some residual protection from weeds with the chemicals that we sprayed. It kills the weeds that are up, but gives us some residual staying power for a while. But once the beans canopy the rows, there won't be any light getting down to the soil, and so weeds really won't be germinating and emerging later on the season. This was, like I said, is a minimum tillage field, and you can see here's one of it's a water hemp. Water hemp has become a tough weed to control, but you can see the chemicals that we used it's wilted over. It's in the process of dying right now. It will be dead. It won't cause us any problems. These beans here, they have a little spotting on them, but that's just from the chemical that it's got a little spotting, or maybe burnt the leaves just a little. They'll come out of it, they'll shoot out new leaves, and they'll cover up these. You won't even notice it. They won't affect the yield. This ground is very good ground, but you can still see after getting 2 inches of rain just 2 days earlier, it's not muddy. It's crumbling up, and it just goes to show we're not we don't have an overabundance of moisture in the soil, but these good soils will help carry us through further along into the season. Look at this soybean plant. I don't see anything flowering at this point, but they're jointing close. So, that's a good thing. We don't need a lot of height to the soybeans. You just need a lot of joints. Planting in April, we seem to have better yields. You'll get more joints. Those joints will shoot out flowers, and they'll shoot out pods later on in the season. It's bushed out, and so it's going to cover the rows here shortly. They'll set on a lot of pods here, but they'll keep growing up and setting joints. And I just soon have a shorter plant with a lot of joints, a lot of pods on them, much easier to harvest, and you don't have as much residue that you put back on, and which keeps the soil cooler in the following year when you're planting corn. And you can see there's a few nodules on them just starting right there, nitrogen nodules. At my home farm, we had about 1.7 inches of rain. This is probably 5-6 miles north of my home farm, and this farm actually got about 2 inches of rain. It's good soils, really needed, but we are short of subsoil moisture. So we're going to need some moisture as we go along during the season. We're happy we got that rain. Some areas didn't get as much as we did, and some areas didn't get any rain. So There could be some stress later this week. It's supposed to get up to 90 degrees. They're not calling for any rain this coming week. So there might be a little stress, but you know, not a lot that's going to hurt us too much, I don't think. We're in pretty good shape, especially since we got that rain. And it will take us a little while, but you always like to have a rain once a week. If you could get an inch of rain once a week, that would be ideal. That's what we'd like to have, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Things look good here. Hopefully we're heading for a good crop, good yields.